Well, hey, neighbor, it's me, Angie. Come on in. This is our live neighborhood chat. Yeah, I didn't put up a. I thank y'all for coming and visiting me today. I'm glad y'all were here. And I'm going to have to tell you all that I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. And I will have my neighborhood. Hello, hello, hello. Well, I'm back at home. Yes, I am. I am home. I'm home from the hospital. I tell you what, the hospital is not for the faint of heart. They will absolutely bring you down if you go into the hospital if you let them. They wasn't even caring about me getting up out of the bed. I kept saying, I'm getting up. I got to get up and get in my wheelchair. I can't stay in this bed. They didn't even push me to get up, walk, or stand up or anything. I could tell that I was just getting weaker and weaker. It's like, no, I got to get up and get in my chair. We're going to see if anybody's going to come in and chat. I'm a few minutes early. I was supposed to go on at 11, but I'm a few minutes early, so we'll see. I cut my overhead light off because, that fan, every week that I have a live, my eyes just water because the fan is on high for some reason. I don't know. And I forget to cut it down before I get in here. Well, after I get in here. And I can't reach it with my hand, so I have to have my grabber, which I do not have. We'll wait to see if anybody wants to chit chat. There's Sandy. Thank you, Sandy. Welcome in. I'm glad I'm home too. I don't know if you heard me talking about it, but they will just let you lay there in a hospital. They do not encourage you to get up and move and, walk with your walker or get in your wheelchair. I kept telling them, I'm getting up. Oh, thank you, Sandy. That means so much for people to be praying for me. I felt all the prayers. I knew people were praying for me. I couldn't have made it had I not had people praying for me. So, how have you been doing, Sandy? What's been going on with you? But depends on the hospital. They got me up a lot. Yeah, it does, I guess. But this hospital was just mainly focusing on treating my leg where I had the wound. And I kept telling them, I'm sitting up. And I would get up and I would ring the bell because I was a fall risk. They had the little bracelet on. And I would tell them, either you're going to come help me get up or I'm going to get up by myself because I can't lay here. I don't know. When I lay in a bed too long, I start aching. Like, I get really, really sore. Uh, I bragged I hadn't been falling and I fell Saturday. Are you okay, Sandy? How did you fall? Are you okay? Falling is not fun. Falling, especially in my situation. And I don't know if it's your situation, but I can't get back up. When I fall, hey Christina, how are you doing? Oh, stove up. Can you get up by yourself when you fall? I can't. I can't get up. I mean, I'm stuck like Chuck if I fall. I mean, I'm just there. Oh, you got up? Oh, okay, good. Christina, how are you doing today? How's the weather over there? I'm sure it's hot. Oh my goodness, y'all. It has been so hot here. It has been so hot. I went live twice at the hospital to keep everybody updated on what was going on, which I really enjoyed going live at night. I went live late at night, and I really enjoyed that. But normally, I'm not up that late at night. But I guess being at the hospital and my sleeping pattern was really messed up. I mean, really. I was sitting up in my wheelchair from 1 in the morning to about 4 in the morning before I got back in my hospital bed the first night. I think that was the first night. But I just couldn't stay in the bed. Now, by the time it was the night before I got to come home, I stayed in that hospital bed all night. Oh, and when I woke up, I felt like what I think the Tin Man felt like. Like I was hurting so bad I had to take this hand and push this hand open because my arthritis had it closed like this. So I had to take this and push up. It was something else. There she is. My two moderators are in here. Christina, who is my girl, and Claudette, who is my girl. They keep my chat all clean and nice, and they keep me rolling, rolling, rolling. Oh, you're still looking for a job? So I think I've asked you this before, but what area of a job are you looking for? Like, what do you want to do? How are you, my beautiful twin? What's going on? What's going on? I was just telling them that there's Angie too. There's Angie too. Hugs, my dear. Um, so when I was in the hospital, I was telling them earlier they didn't want to get me up. Well, I say that wrong. They didn't encourage me to get up out of the bed, which I can't stay in the bed or I'll just freeze in the bed if y'all know what I mean. The last night I was there, I stayed in the bed all night, which is unusual. I had to take this is my arthritis hand. It was closed up like this. I had to take this hand and pry this hand open the next morning because it was just froze like this. So, how are you, Angie? What's going on in your world? Look, if anybody's having anything to go on their channel, if you're already blue, you can drop your link. You can talk about it. If not, Claudette or Christina, they got me covered. They know what's going on. At this point, as long as it's legit, I'd like another remote job, but I've applied at the Super Target. I'm ready to go back to work. I need the insurance. Oh, I understand that, honey. I understand that. I don't know what. I mean, I complain about James's job a lot because they work him like a Hebrew slave. But if it wasn't for the good insurance that he has, I mean, y'all, it has just been a godsend. They've never denied me anything that I needed. Which reminds me, the guy that is supposed to be oh, Sandy, it is healing. They came yesterday and changed the bandage on it. Oh, it looks so much better, y'all. It looks so much better. But let me tell y'all something. So I go into the hospital. They immediately start giving me antibiotics. 2 different kind of antibiotics. It never dawns on me how strong this antibiotic's going to be, okay? They start hitting me with this antibiotic, and they were switching them back and forth. Like one antibiotic would go through, and then they would switch it to another. They were going back and forth. Oh my goodness. I was getting so nauseated. Oh my gosh. It was like pregnancy. You know, that kind of nausea. And I was like, no. And they were giving these to me on an empty stomach because I haven't eaten. Because I kept telling James, I haven't eaten anything. You can't even take antibiotics by mouth, pill, without them saying eat something. Well, this is going through IV, okay? I cannot hardly sit up. I'm so nauseated. And it's the kind of nausea that you really can't throw up. If you could throw up, you'd probably feel better. Well, I couldn't. I could not throw up. It was just nausea. So I kept telling them, I can't. Y'all gonna have to switch it. And they come in and they gave me Zofran. I think it was Zofran for nausea. Yes. And they were strong antibiotics. It wasn't like a little mild antibiotic because they were trying to get this wound under control before it got out of hand, you know? And I can understand that and I appreciate that. But oh my goodness. So about the second day, I had taken all the first day and stayed nauseated. Yes, I do, Claudette. Yes. So, oh, it didn't work for you? So, it didn't work too good for me on those strong antibiotics, but they switched me. Hey, Lisa, how are you? There's Lisa's new adventure. There's my girl. Y'all, if y'all want to catch a good channel, y'all need to go over there and watch Lisa's new adventure. She is the sweetest thing. Sweet. I keep a supply of Zofran in my home. I take it when I get a migraine. Oh, I didn't think about that, Angie. My daughter has migraines. Hey, Krista's World. How are you, honey? Welcome in. So, when they switched me, immediately the nausea went away. It went away, and I was on a different antibiotic. You're welcome. Well, I had both legs wrapped around with infection, knee to ankle, so they couldn't get it strong enough. I can't imagine. I cannot. Did you get sick, Claudette, on antibiotic? Did they make you sick? Yes, it helps with the nausea and dizziness for me. Oh, I'm gonna ask my daughter, does she take Zofran? Because she gets migraines a lot. Well, actually, too often. Actually, she had one yesterday. She had a migraine yesterday. They think her migraines stem from her shunt that she has. RJ History, hello. How did you hear about the channel? Have you visited my neighborhood before? Welcome in. I sent you a pic. Never get sick on it. I didn't. Oh, you are so blessed, Claudette. Yeah, I remember the pictures. Yeah. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Welcome in. Um, Mine was on one leg. Claudette, was yours on both legs? What yours on both legs? So I know this comes with healing, okay? Um, but it's my leg that had the wound on it started itching. I mean, it was itching like uncontrollably itching. And you have to understand it's wrapped in 3 layers, okay? I just wanted to just scratch it. You know what I'm saying? But that's the worst thing you can do is scratch it. I tried to get my mind off of it, get up, stand up, kind of pat it a little bit so it would quit itching. I thought I was gonna lose it. So everybody's speaking. Yes, they were wrapped around both legs, knee to ankle, the infection and sores. Oh wow. Um so when they came yesterday to change the wraps on both legs, I have this cream lotion kind of stuff that helps with the itching. I was telling the ladies, I said, please put that on my legs. Because if y'all don't in the middle, and it always happens at night when I'm trying to relax and, go to sleep, that's when it starts. When it's at its worst, okay? Sometimes I've had to get up right before I went to sleep and just sit up so I won't think about the itching. Well, they just lotioned them down. They just around the area that's not wounds. And they doctored the wound, which looked, oh my gosh, it looks so much better. And they itched last night, but nothing like they had in the past. There's my Sassy Mary. Sassy Mary. There's my girl. Hey, Sassy, how are you doing? Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for dropping in. Hey, Pamela. How are you? So, I have a few things to talk to y'all about today and get y'all's opinion. Uh, Sleep, that's all I do anymore. Actually, I've been sleeping a little better than I was sleeping. Uh, Now, at the hospital, no, you can't sleep at a hospital unless you're given something that cause you to sleep. But hey Yvonne, how are you? Welcome in. So I took my old wheelchair. I didn't take my new one. So I didn't have the one that lifts my legs up so I could elevate my legs. But I would sit up like 1 in the morning to 4 in the morning in my wheelchair because I couldn't sleep. And I didn't want to lay in that bed because I hurt. I was just so sore when I laid in the bed. And oh my gosh, Lisa, let me tell you what they did. I wish I could show y'all my arm. Well, see that? where they drew blood every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. They would not give me any warning. They would walk in the room, flip the light on, good morning, at 4 in the morning, wanting blood, which they had to take it every morning because I'm on this medication that affects your sodium, your potassium, all your electrolytes. So they had to test my blood every morning. They had to draw blood. But the doctor came in and said, your blood work could not look any more perfect. All the levels are just perfect, which I was glad of that. They do, and I'm a hard stick. I mean, it's all over my charts that you can't hardly draw blood or put a IV in because of my veins. But these ladies this time in the hospital, they did really well getting the IV in and drawing blood. They did really well considering that I am a hard stick and I it's hard to get blood. I don't think I have any blood at 4. I know it is. I mean, who wants to be stuck with a needle? But especially at 4 o'clock in the morning, you're waking up and they're sticking you trying to get blood. Which, what made it better, I knew the girl. I mean, we're from a small area, so I knew most of these people, and they knew me. Either they had went to school with my children, or they were the parents of children that had went to school with my children. Hey, Ellen, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. So, you know how, I don't know if y'all are like this or not, but let me just pass this to y'all. You know how you can be, like when you get sick, you're more sensitive to stuff and you get more emotional when you hear something? Well, at least I do. So, I can't watch, let's just say I shouldn't watch any news or any kind of anything like that when I'm hey Blue Flamingo, welcome in. I shouldn't watch anything like that when I'm in the hospital or I'm not well. Which I try not to watch that stuff anyway. I can get blood just fine for me. Just give me someone who can insert the needle, or better yet, let me do it myself. Ooh, I don't think I could do it myself, Sassy. So I've been a little like emotional these last few days. I'm real sensitive to any kind of news. Just I'll cry at the drop of a hat. Just cry if I hear a sad story or if something I just am very sensitive, which I cry a lot anyway, but it's more when I'm not feeling good. I get more sensitive. So I was listening to Once a Nurse, You Think You Can Do It Yourself. Oh, that's right, Sassy. You were a nurse. Oh, I understand that, yeah. There's Susie Woozy, my friend. So I'm watching, and y'all, I'm just crying, just tears going down my face because of this flooding in Texas, okay? And the people that have been affected by it, and the little children. And I'm doing a lot better, Susie. Thank you for asking. And it just breaks my heart because I have 3 grandbabies, 2 children, and I would not wish that on my worst enemy. I mean, even, which I don't have any enemies, but they may look at me like an enemy, but I don't look at you like one. I always say, just because you do not like me or prefer me, that doesn't mean that I don't like you, you know? So then I heard this person come on the news that said that these people had this happen to them and lost their life because of their particular belief, and that's why it happened to them. And I just started crying. I mean, who in the world would even say that about children? You know what I'm saying? Our children are off limits in my book. Children are off limits. Do not mess with our children. Do not talk about our children. Do not involve our children in adult things. No, 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 no. Don't talk ill of children. That's just the way I feel. And then my heart went out to the people that were saying these things. You know, I wasn't mad at them. I was just hurt that somebody would actually feel that way. You know, I wanted to just take that person and say, why? Why would you even say that? Where is your heart? You know? Hey, Naughty Grace. Ignorance is at an all time high. Did they say that mean or like with God now? Did they say no? They were just like saying it mean, like they were just being so ugly, and I had to cut it off because who would wish harm on children? You know, I just, it's so strange. My bestie, when we were in Germany, was from Caraville. I never heard of it before. 30 years later, my aunt and uncle moved there, and now this. Oh no. People are narcissistic and they take a tragedy like this and make it racial or political. God's will does not choose individuals' beliefs and race, gender, or age. So, social media is full of mean and ignorant people. Hey, Robin. Thank you. So, I cried for about, James had to work last night. So, if he's not here, I could cry. If I get upset, I could cry for at least an hour. And I was just crying. Like, I started to go live and just say, stop. Stop being so mean. Stop making it about a political thing. These are people's life. These are people's children. These are people's loved ones. These are people's. I mean, could you not put yourself in this person's shoes? I mean, this literally could have happened to anybody that's in this chat. There have been many nasty comments. It shows the character and God sees all. Just send love and don't let the hate. It wasn't riling me up. It was hurting my heart. And like I said, I wasn't, I was angry at what was being said, but my heart was going out to the people that were saying it because I was like, something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. If you're going to say that about innocent babies, oh, They had this lady that was a hold on a minute. That was a pediatrician. Now she treated children. That was her job. And she was saying things like that, like it happened to them because of their parents' beliefs. And that's the reason it happened. And she didn't have any sympathy toward them or not. She actually got fired from her job for saying that. I would never take my child back to this pediatrician ever. Hey, Rudy. I mean, I think nurses and doctors and all that take an oath when they become in the medical field that there's no harm to anyone. I don't really know what the oath is. I can't quote it like from the beginning to the end, but I know it stems from, don't bring harm to anyone. It was awful. It was so bad. And then another girl got fired from Houston, doing something because she was saying the same thing that, you know, y'all, I just could I just could not believe that people would actually, I mean, even if you thought it, let's just say you thought it and you thought that, why would you actually say it out loud? I mean, I feel like keep it to yourself. There's some things that's better left unsaid. Don't even say it. But to me, children are children. I don't care if you're pink, purple, white, black, yellow. When it comes to children, no. Children are off limits. Don't even go there. Don't even speak ill of children. That's just so I wish people would speak ill of anybody. But when you're dealing with the world's children, no way. Yes. Yes, I agree, Robin. But some of the things, and I just had to cut it off. Like I said, I'm being in the hospital and being sick. I'm very sensitive now anyway because of being sick, which I'm a very sensitive person when it comes to things like this. But this just was, I was hypersensitive. So I was just boohooing. And I was just saying, God, why? Why? Why are these people, who would say that? Who would do that? And I'm thinking, do these people have children? Do these people that are saying this about somebody else's children have children? Would they want somebody speaking about their children like this? I'm just want to make it make sense, you know? The Nightingale Pledge is a statement of the ethics and principles. I didn't know that was what it was called. I'll have to look that up. Claudette, I don't have children, but try to. I know, Robin. It just doesn't make sense to me. And what gets me? Why are people so angry? Why are people so angry? I mean, are they so selfish that they don't get their way? I mean, is that what it is? And hey, Michael, don't get me wrong. I want to get my point across. When I want to make a point, I want to get it across. We're talking about the Houston being flooded. No, not Houston. Ken, Ken, what's the name of the town? Starts with a K. And, but I don't want to hurt anybody in the process. I just want to give my point, say what I want to say, but I don't want to say mean things about somebody to make my, yeah, Curryville. How far is that from you, Christina? Well, my point is this: leave children out of it. Children off the table. Off the table. Do not, if adults want to disagree, disagree. Say what you want to say and walk off. Don't bring the children in it. Do not. People are insecure, and nowadays they don't even know how to fit in to the human race. Angie. Oh, I've been speaking up, but I cried, and I'm not even angry at the people that are saying these things. Okay? I'm hurt that they have a heart that they could actually let that come out of their mouth about that. I mean, are they trying to hurt? I know hurting people hurt people. I know that. Uh, I don't care what side of the fence you're on. There's just a point where you don't cross. I agree, Robin. I mean, I'm that same way. I just read an article about that doctor. She issued a very long apology and said she didn't know of the scope of the. No, she's in deep water. That's why she's retracted now. I watched her, and when she was actually saying these things, you could just see that she had no feeling whatsoever about what she was saying. And now she has potentially, there's a chance she could get her license taken from her and she will never practice again, which it wouldn't hurt my feelings. Oh, Andy, thank you. Hold on. Thank you, Andy. You're so sweet. This Super Chill. Thank you, Andy. Thank you. So, in the book that I read, it says she's sorry she got caught, but she knew exactly. Yes, she did. Yes. She got fired. She got fired. But what would make a human being? And she is a pediatrician. She works with children. Can you imagine taking your child to this doctor and this doctor feels this way? Can you imagine? I just can't. Hey, Joanne, doctor's license are state to state. She will just moved to another state. Doctors are not held to the same standard as nurses. Oh no. I thought she could be revoked in all states. I had no idea. All right, I'm just going to tell y'all this, and I'm just going to be, yeah, she was. And a lot of people can't understand this when I say it. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You can believe it or not. It's neither here nor there to me. My love for people is not based on their belief in any way, their spiritual belief, their political belief, their, I may think that some of your beliefs are off the wall, which you may think some of mine are. My good book says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So whatever's in here is going to come out. So she meant what she said when she said it. Um, she just thought most people would agree with her. I'm glad her words exposed her. Yes. But Andy, you're a sweetheart. Thank you. I can accept somebody that does the wrong thing, and I can still love them. You know, I can love them. Doesn't mean I agree with them. Doesn't mean I agree at all. But I can still love them. I don't know. I don't know. I know when you truly have love in your heart, you don't wish ill on people that do not believe like you do. We all make mistakes, but there are things that are not a mistake. Agreed. I mean, did she honestly believe that people were just going to sit back and not respond to what she said? I could just see me. I'm also not shocked by anything these days. The world is going, yes. I could just see Berkeley at this camp, okay? And this happened. And my heart was just, depends on if doctor has reciprocity with other states. The left has a lot of godless principles, both parties do, but the left is really the worst. We are supposed to love one another. That's what makes a disciple. Yes, I'm a registered independent. I think people on both sides or extreme ends are not lining up with the belief. Okay, think about it like this. It's the same bird, okay? Different wings. It's the same bird, okay? So that means it's the same uh, government. Government is not like everyday life. There's things that go on up there that we probably wouldn't be able to sleep at night if we knew about it, okay? Neither side has a perfect agenda. They only have an agenda for them, okay? People that go to this side, it benefits them more. People that go to this side, it benefits them more. That's why they choose the side they do. Whatever side benefits you and your beliefs more, that's what you're going to go toward. You know? Thank you. She cooks and roasts. Y'all want to talk about a funny channel? That is a funny channel. Y'all need to visit her channel. She cooks. It's funny. So why should we be angry? I worked in the nursing homes and hospitals, but I was doing art therapy. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Sassy. Okay, so this is my point. So we all want what we want. So we go for the side that benefits us the most. That doesn't mean I don't like the other side. They're just on that side because it benefits them more. Now let's get back to what I was saying. Same bird, different wings. So really, it can all change overnight. You know what I'm saying? But if you're speaking out angrily and demanding things, you're showing who you really are, which I'm glad that people are showing who they really are. You don't have to wonder. But it's still sad that they are so hurtful and they don't have any compassion or any empathy. Do you think, all right, let me just say this. Do you think that there could be a child out in the world when James and I go out that is in a hot car, okay? That their parents have left them in a hot car, and James and I see it. And we got to save this baby or this child. Do you think I'm going to look at James Smith and say, I wonder what their parents' political belief is? I don't know if I should save this child. It depends on what their family believes. Now, do you think that I'm going to think of that? No, I'm going to think about, oh my goodness, we got to save this baby. We've got to save this baby from the heat. But people are actually doing that. Like, wait a minute. What are their parents' beliefs? Should we save this child? Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with being angry. But it says in my book that I read, be angry and sin not. And you say, well, how do you do that? It's just like I said, I'm angry about it and I'm hurt, but I don't want anything bad to happen to those people that are saying those bad things. I don't, because if I did, I would be just like them. I would be no better than them if I said, oh, well, then I wish that upon them if they're going to wish that upon us. That makes me just like them. I don't care what people's politics beliefs are. When it comes to a child in trouble, I'm going, exactly, exactly. And honestly, as far as I'm concerned, that is with adults too. Before internet, now people can know more about me than like them to know. Yes. Um. Right. Right. I mean, let's just go with this. Let's say there was an adult that was in trouble and James and I could help him. Hey, Wendy, welcome in. Do you honestly believe I'm going to stop and look at this adult and say, what are your spiritual beliefs? What is your political beliefs before I can help you get out of this danger? I need to know these things. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to help this person if all possible. Hey, NDT show, welcome in. I am going to help this person at all possible. They're a human being. I was that close to losing both my legs as well. I took a fifth visit to Emerge and they sent me to the infectious disease. And people may disagree with me on this, and I'm fine. I mean, we all disagree on a lot of things, but that doesn't mean I don't love you or care about you. I'm not going to be mad at somebody for their political beliefs or their spiritual beliefs. I'm not going to dislike you. I'm not going to talk bad about you. I'm not going to let you push on me your belief if I don't believe it, but I'll listen to it. But I'm very secure in what I believe, so it's pretty much hard to persuade me to believe any different than I already believe. Not that I'm not willing to listen and open and have an open mind, because I can play outside the box. I mean, I don't put myself in a box and say, "No, I'm not listening to you." Anyone who ever hates is just needing us to pray and love them. So, but I do believe there's a limit and there's a boundary that you should not cross when you come on social media and say things. There is a boundary that you should not let things come out of your mouth that you're going to regret. Like y'all were saying, this lady is saying now, what difference did it matter what extent of damage it was? She should have never said that for one child, much less a whole count. That should not even have been her thought process. You know what I'm saying? She needs to get in a closet somewhere and just start praying and asking forgiveness for that. Hold on a minute. But can somebody drop Michael's link? But my point being is, if we turn around and become like the person that we are trying to say that we don't agree with, then we're no better than they are. You know? And some may say, how can you be that way, Angie? How can you still love this person? Or how can you still understand? No, I don't understand where they're coming from. I don't understand why they said what they said. But if we don't show them love and we come back with being angry at them like they did us, what does that prove? You know, somebody has to be the bigger person. Somebody has to be the adult. Oh, thank you, Sandy. But people are never going to understand what true love is unless we show it to them. You know, hey, Purple, how are you? People talk too much and tell too much of their business online. A friend of mine told the internet she was going out of town and was shocked when she come back and had been robbed. Exactly. Exactly, Christina. Exactly. Thank you, Purple. I'm glad to be home. Oh, A lot of, all right, I say a lot. Let's just go with this. If somebody's different than we are, okay, let's just say eccentric, and we all know what that means. Why can't we just do two things? Either accept them for who they are and be nice, or either just walk away and don't have anything to do with them if we don't want to. But why do we have to talk ugly about them? Why do we have to say negative things about them? Why do we have to put them down to make ourselves feel better when that is ridiculous? Everybody was not made the same way. Everybody's brain does not work like everybody else's. Your thought process is not like somebody else's thought process, obviously. Now, I don't agree that you should let somebody overtake you and just bombard you with their belief and you not say anything back. Now, that's not what I'm saying. I believe you have just as much right to say what you want to say when they say something to you, okay, that you don't agree with. But I don't think it should turn into so much hate that they want to harm you or they wish harm upon you. You know, I don't see why it would go that far, why you would want it to go that far. But I guess everybody doesn't have the, like I said, doesn't have the same thought process as I do. Because a lot of people, and I've been there, when I was younger, I had so much anger. I had so much anger inside me when I was young because of my childhood. Okay. I had a lot of anger, but I don't think that I wanted harm to come to anybody else. Yes, I agree. I agree, Sassy. See, that's what gets me. They don't think that's nothing. They don't think anything's going to happen to them if they say things that are inappropriate. Uh, Not only there's a higher power that is going to make something happen that you're going to regret ever saying or doing some of the stuff you've done. And then when that happens, they go, woe is me. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why this happened to me. Well, rewind, go watch the tape, and look and see what you said. But y'all, I just could not say anything today because I was so hurt. And I woke up this morning thinking about it and praying about it. And I was praying, God changed their heart because it's a heart thing. That's the problem. Hey, Josie, welcome in. The problem is a heart thing. And it's not that I have the greatest heart in the world and I'm perfect and I don't ever make a mistake or I don't ever do anything wrong. It has nothing to do with that. It has something to do with doing the right thing when people aren't watching. You know, that's called integrity, and a lot of people don't have it. But for that pediatrician to say something like that, I just wanted to honestly say, lady, you do not know what love is. You do not know what love is. Look, if y'all haven't went over to Josie's channel, Josie Cares, and if y'all haven't watched her video about her first experience with working, and she was 8 years old, I'll just tell you this a little bit. She was 8 years old and she picked apricots and she got paid for it. That's all I'm going to tell you. That was her first job. She is doing a series on her channel, Josie Cares, and she's telling stories of of different jobs she has had over her lifetime to share with us about her work ethic. Because Josie still works at her age. You know, she should have been retired 20 years ago. We were talking about the pediatrician that came online and said that the people that were affected by the flood in Texas, that happened to them because of their political belief, and that it should have happened, and that they didn't feel bad because it did happen. And my heart broke. I started crying like a baby because all I could think of was, what if it would have been one of my grandbabies over there at that camp? And I really wasn't mad at the lady that said it. I was so hurt that she would actually feel that way. And I'm thinking, I would not take my child back to this pediatrician ever. But she got fired. Bye, Sassy. Love you. Have a good day. See, this is what a lot of people don't understand. We miss out on so much life because we don't want to speak to somebody that doesn't believe like we do. We think we might catch something from them, or they may influence us some way. If you think you can be influenced by somebody that doesn't believe like you do, then you're not grounded in what you really believe. Because I'll talk to anybody, whether they believe the way I do or not, because I'm pretty much solid in what I believe. And I'm open to letting God show me something different. But you're not going to show me something different. Only God is. And He'll speak to me if it's supposed to be different. I pray for the kids. Yes. Yes. Agreed. But not only is it the greatest command, it has to have action. You can't just say that's what it's supposed to be. You've got to practice that every day when you come in contact with people. I don't mean let people run all over you and let them take advantage of you. And just because you say, oh, I can't say anything back because I love them. No, that's not what I'm talking about. No, no, no. You have to take up for yourself. You have to defend yourself. But what I'm talking about is, don't deliberately go after somebody because they don't believe like you do. Or don't be inclusive because, I mean, there's some people on social media that do not want you coming to their channel if you're different. If you have a different uh, spiritual belief, if you have a different political belief, they don't want you coming to their channel. You're off, you know, they don't want to have anything to do with you. Can you imagine? There are family members disowning other family members because they don't believe like they do. I can't imagine me saying to one of my children, you don't have the same political belief as I do. So I'm not going to speak to you again until you believe the way your dad and I believe. No, no. The world most of us were raised in no longer exists. We have to be the light and the love of the, yes. The Cherokee Outlaw Channel. Welcome in. My point is this: we're all human, we all make mistakes. I pray for the ones who believe that it was political and caused it. I pray that God will come into their heart and show them the way. Yes, agreed, agreed. And I really don't like to bring up topics like this on my channel, but it hurt me so bad that somebody would start. Oh, okay, Susie, good luck with your blueberries. Love you. Have a good day. Don't get too hot. Right, right. See, for some reason, we expect everybody to accept us the way we are, but we don't want to accept them the way they are. Some reason we think we have rank, like we rank up a step. Now, if you have to beat somebody down in order to make yourself feel better, you have a problem. You have a major problem because who wants to make fun of somebody to make themselves feel better and for people to go along with it? Not only is the person putting the person down, but you have people that go along with the bully and just act like it's funny when it's not funny. What if it was happening to you or me? What if somebody come on and didn't have thick skin like some of us do and they got bullied? That's not fun. And then to have no one take up for them. And to think that there's never going to be any consequences to what they do. Now, it may not be instant consequences, but then when they do get karma, it's like, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this? What did I ever do? Well, okay, rewind, play it back, and you will see what you've done. I have never been a bully. I've stopped a few bullies. I don't like bullying. Uh, I've never seen the point in it. I've never seen the why someone would want to do that, except they're really sad and weak, that they would put down on somebody else to make themselves feel better when they could turn that energy into something positive. If we do not forgive, God will not forgive us. That is so true, Josie. And the thing about it is, a lot of people will justify or try to make reasons why they don't have to. People say, "Oh, I forgive, but I'm never going to forget it. Oh, I forgive them, but blah, blah, blah." If you have to put but, the word but, after you say you forgive somebody, you have negated the words I have forgive once you say, but I got to do this, this, and this. There was an elder in the church where I was just a little kid, and she had a condition that no matter what treatment she received, she could not grow her hair long. Exactly, Christina. Exactly. Exactly. Welcome in, Just Legs. And they talk about her. She said she was backslider, but she was sinning. Well, some things are hard to forget, so I understand the same. Oh, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the statement. That's not what I'm saying. Because you're never going to forget it. When somebody hurts you, it's hard to even forget it. But my point is this: you don't continue to hurt people that weren't involved in the situation. You know, a lot of people carry their unforgiveness towards one person into somebody else. You know, instead of, if they say they forgive that person, then they're angry at everybody else. I completely get that statement of, oh, I'm going to forgive, but I'll never forget. Well, of course, you're not going to forget. We're all human. We have a brain, but it's the content, it's the way you say it and where your heart is when you say it. Now, I can say, oh, I forgive that person, but I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to forget it. Or I can say, oh, I'll forgive them, but I'm never going to forget it. Like, in other words, when I get my chance, I'm going to get back at them. God desires an honest heart. Some things you will never forget, but remembering it doesn't mean you're unforgiving. Right. I never forget what they did, but to that dear elder, they forgot that we are all sinners and saved by grace. Yes, I don't base my friendship or family on political or religious beliefs. Everyone has a right to believe the way they want to. Yes. If you're having trouble discerning forgiveness or forgetting, here's how. Only God has the perfect ability to forgive and forget. When you can pray good things for a person that has done you wrong, then you have forgiven. Yes. See, it took me a long time to get that scripture where it says, pray for your enemies, do good to those who do something bad to you. And I'm like, when I was younger, I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. This must have been written wrong. How can I be good to someone that's brought harm to me? Or how can I pray for them? This is the way I was when I was younger. But now that I've gotten older, I can pray for them. Just like this lady years ago, if I would have been in my 30s and this lady would have got on television and she would have said what she said about the children and all this stuff, I would have been so mad at her and I would have called her all sorts of names and I would have just been angry. And I don't even know her, but I would have been angry, like calling her certain things. But when I heard this yesterday and I saw the tape of her saying this, all I could think about was, lady, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you have that in your heart. I'm sorry that you do not understand about love and kindness. I didn't want to go at her in an angry way. And honestly, last night I prayed for her. I didn't like what she said. I didn't agree with what she said. And I'm sorry she said it. But if she was to walk in my house right now, I would not throw her out. I would say, come sit down. Why did you say that? Why did you say such things? See what everybody's saying. See how people that are sending innocent people to prison and there's so much upset. Yeah, I mean, any given day, you can find 500 million things that you disagree with and that you're sad about. Okay? We all know that you can. But when you find those things, you have to turn it around and say, God is in control. He knows what's going on. He is going to handle it. And He is going to take care of it. And there's a reason for every single thing. We may not know what it is. We may not can see what it is. But our responsibility is to love that person and to love God. That's our responsibility. We don't have to love what they do. We just have to love them. Exactly. That's the point. Where you can get to the point where it's not because you have to, and it's because you choose to. It's so much freedom in that. Yes, it's so much freedom. And I'm going to tell y'all something. When there's been a tragedy in your life that somebody has perpetrated upon you, and you're the victim, because you can't be a victim if you caused what happened to you to happen. If you create it, you can't be the victim. If you create something and something bad happens, you're not the victim. No. But if something happens to you that you did not create and you did not want it to happen, you're the victim. And when that happens and you get angry because it happened to you, that's only natural. That is only natural for you to be angry because you have all these feelings of, why did I let that happen? How could I let that happen? Why did that happen to me? You have all these questions. And I believe you go through stages of in order to forgive them. You know, you have to go through different stages. When someone does wrong, pray for them to do better and to see the errors of their ways. Yes. Angie, there's only person I can't allow in my house. Exactly. But I understand perfectly, Purple. You shouldn't. I understand. And there are people you should not. I mean, you've got to set boundaries. When something happens to you that's out of your control and you've been the victim of something bad to happen, no, you can't allow that person back. No. Exactly. I'm like this. Don't go back to enemy camp. When something happens to you, don't go back to enemy camp. Now, you can go back and forgive them, but don't stay there. Don't move back in and don't, you know, pick up where you left off or you think you left off because it's never going to be the same. It's never going to be the same. We should walk in other shoes so we can use right judgment. Exactly. I have people and friends on both sides agree to disagree. I listen to them pray for God to show them the way. It's not my judgment of them. I love them and I don't know everything. Yes. It's just like I said, you got to stop and think. And that's what a lot of people do not do. They do not think of the next thing that's going to happen if they open this. They do not think before they say something. Hold on a minute, guys. Oh, I've been upset this morning. But exactly. You have to be careful when you say something out of here that whoever you say it about has the same right to come back and say what they want to you. Hey, Denise, how are you? Welcome in. If y'all haven't visited Denise's Magical Emporium, y'all have got to go over there and see my girl. She's hilarious. She's got a good sense of humor. And of course, she sells things. Imagine that. Me being associated with a channel that sells things. And she sells good things. And she used to be a nurse too. So she can relate to what we're talking about as far as this person saying what they did about, her being a pediatrician and in the medical field and saying what she said about the children in Texas. I mean, she can relate to that. But when somebody might can answer this, and I'm not going to hold it against you in the chat if you feel this way. I mean, you feel the way you feel. You only know what you know. You can only do better if you know better. That's why I just meet people where they are. You got to meet them where they are. How can somebody, and I've asked this question, I've asked it and asked it, how can somebody wake up out of a sound sleep and just start doing evil things? Like talking down to people, bullying people, being ugly to people in chats, conniving to make people's channel go bad, saying ugly things. I mean, what do you do? Just wake up and say, who can I destroy today? Who can I be ugly to today? How is that even possible? I mean, I'm glad I don't understand it, because if I understood it, I'd probably be that way. But I don't, why would you want to wake up so miserable every morning when you could put your foot forward and be the opposite of that? Do you know it takes less energy to be positive and to be nice than it does to be evil, to be mean? Do you know it takes less energy? Yeah, I get that. They are hurt. I've been hurt before in my life. I've never wanted to wake up and hurt other people because I was hurting. But everybody's different. I understand that. Yes, agreed, Denise. Agreed. I mean, somebody looks different than you do. Okay? So what? Somebody speaks different than you speak. So what? If you don't want to hear it, get away from it. You know? Now, I do believe that there are times that you need to speak up about things that are going too far in the world that you go, that draws the line. I'm not gonna agree with that. I'm not gonna allow you to bring that into my child's life. I'm not gonna let you teach that to my child. I'm not gonna let you, you know. Now I do agree with that. But as far as you want to live your life and it's not affecting anybody else, you go do what you got to do. Exactly, Claudette. Exactly. Some people. All right, I had a friend. Okay, let me tell you this. And it was a friend of mine. I mean, this person was a friend. This person would say, I'm prejudiced against people that are overweight. They would actually say that they would not become friends with somebody that was overweight. Now, this is when I weighed, they were friends with me, and I weighed probably 170 pounds. This is before I got on steroids and, just became overweight. And I'm like, well, what if I become overweight like I am now? What if I become overweight and you're saying that you will not? Hey, Steph, how are you? You are not going to be my friend because I'm heavy and I'm overweight? And this person said to me, well, I just think people that are overweight are sloppy and they're just nasty. I'm like, what? Where is your mind? How can I be friends with somebody that thinks this way? You know? I said, what makes you think that everybody that's overweight that they're nasty? They're not. And I'm saying, you could gain weight. Now, this person wasn't the skinniest person I'd ever seen, but they were not overweight either. And I would think, you are crazy. Now, this person and I work together. And I would say, you are crazy. Why would you not like somebody because they are overweight? Because that person could always lose weight, but you're going to always be ugly. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this person has a medical condition and they can't lose weight. Like me, I take steroids. Now, I could still lose some weight, which I would get this. I was 12 pounds lighter from January to June because I had went in the hospital back in January. Well, when I went in the hospital this time, I was 12 pounds lighter than I was back in January. You know, like James, my husband, he weighed 320 pounds. Now, he didn't weigh that much when we got married. He had gotten where he gained weight. He had the he was that heavy. He had the gastric bypass surgery, and y'all have seen videos of him. He don't even look like the person that has ever had that kind of surgery because he doesn't have the skin, the extra skin that he had to have cut off and all that. He didn't have to do all that. But what if people treated him different when he was heavy than when he lost weight? I can't see that. Some people don't like people because of the way their voice sounds, the way their face looks. I heard the whole life. My childhood friend had this mindset. She was always thin until now. I lost weight and she gained weight. Now she sees how it feels. Yes, be careful what you do. Okay, Cherokee Outlaw. Thanks for dropping by. But you know how I deal with that? And everybody can't deal with it like I do. They're not me. I'm not them. I don't, everybody is different the way they handle things. Now, I've never been one to be made fun of a lot, like some people. First of all, I would come back at you and you wouldn't know what hit you. You know what I'm saying? Because your thoughts of me are not my thoughts of me. Okay? You can come at me all you want to, but that doesn't mean it's true. And that's the way I look at it when people have said negative things toward me. You think the way you want to think, but that's not how I feel. That's not how my husband feels. That's not how my children feel. That's not how my friends feel. I'm not accepting that. I know people that only like to be friends with those less fortunate than themselves so they can feel like bigger humans. What? Now that's a new one. That's a new one on me. I've never heard that. I have never heard that, Ellen. See, my mind does not work like that. I am friends. I can be friends with a homeless person, and I can be friends with the CEO at a company. I can relate to just about anybody. Doesn't mean that I agree with everything you do, but I can relate to you. We can find some common ground. I promise you. Yep, I was the fat friend. Oh my gosh, Christina. No, Michael, I'm not ignoring you. I didn't. What did you ask? Let's see. What did you ask, Michael? Michael, ask it again. Life is hard. You would think after school people would have a heart. I know. Still, ask it again, Michael. I I always say this when I go into chats. If there's a situation going on, that just seems ridiculous. You know, I always say, we're not in high school anymore. We're not in school. I mean, can we not get along, or could we not discuss this as adults and just agree to disagree? I mean, it's okay not to agree. I think it's healthy. Not agreeing is healthy, believe it or not. It is. But what's not healthy is the meanness behind you not agreeing with somebody. It's hard to follow all the comments when you're talking and trying to. It is. Oh no, I don't have anybody in mind when I'm talking. No, I'm just talking. Uh, what gets me about people, and I don't know if y'all have dealt with people like this, they'll say something and they'll go, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that." Or, "Oh, did I hurt your feelings? I didn't mean to." Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You meant what you said. Why not just own it? You know, why not just say, "Yeah, I meant it. I wanted to say it and I said it." But you'll find people that, "Oh, I didn't mean to say that. Oh, yeah, you meant it." And none of what you said is true. Stop speaking it out loud and watch you would change. Watch your words charge. Michael Hugs. YouTube is an American platform. That means our rights have to be protected. Look, I have to say this. When you get on social media and you take the chance of being vulnerable and you share things that people are going to run with, and they're going to try to twist it into something that you may not have meant it the way you said it. You have to understand that they're going to do that. And you're going to have thick skin and say, "Okay, I threw it out there. I threw it out there." So be careful what you say on social media. Not that you're trying to hide anything, because I'm an open book. I'll talk about just about anything, but there's a way to do it, and then there's a way not to do it. Yeah, I have too. I have too. I have lost and gained so much weight over my lifetime. Gained it, lost it, gained it, lost it. Oh, and just think if somebody gets a medical condition like I used to be ambulatory, I used to could walk. Now I'm in a wheelchair. I have some people that don't want to be around me because I've become handicapped. I'm in a wheelchair and they don't know how to deal with me. Some of them don't want to be seen with me because I'm handicapped. And I'm fine with that. If you're uncomfortable being around me because I'm in a wheelchair, well, then I don't want you to be around me. Doesn't mean I don't love you. Doesn't mean that I am mad at you. Doesn't mean you have to live with that. You have to answer to that, not me. Yeah, let me tell that. Tomorrow night, Josie and I, the calm before the storm. Our show is tomorrow night, 4 Pacific, 6 Central, and it's on Josie's channel. Don't miss it. I'm pretty sure the thumbnail is up. It's been up for a while. We always have good topics. You come in and you can talk about whatever the topic is. To hell with that. Where you want to go, I'll come pick you up. No kidding either. Oh, it's happened. It's happened since I've become handicapped. Exactly, Steph. Exactly. Uh, James was just on the phone right before I got on live chat today, uh, talking to the guy about the van, our handicap van that we're about to get, so I can pull my wheelchair up into the van without James having to load it. I talked about this on my live the other night when I was at the hospital. Exactly. Yes, you do, Josie, and that's what I love about you. You tell it the way it is. And I can respect that. But a lot of people don't want to be around somebody like that. They don't want to be around somebody that believes and they say what they believe and they live the way they believe. I could, yes, the seat will come out. The seat will come out, Claudette. On the driver's side, we can move it and I'll be able to drive. I got to get the gas and the brake on the steering wheel. I think, in which James always says, that I live in Disneyland, you know, and my son's exactly the same way I am. He sees the good in people before he sees the bad. And he wants to believe that everybody is good and everybody has good in them. Now, I've gotten better in my life to realize that everybody is not the way they appear they are, and I can discern it pretty well. And yes, it is a blessing. And just because you will not hurt someone doesn't mean someone will not hurt you. That's why you have to stay prayed up, pray daily, ask God to protect you and your family because there's so much out there in the world that people are so jealous and they're so aggressively wanting their way, like spoiled children. Like a little child that stands over in the corner and jumps up and down and screams because they're not getting what they want. Adults are doing that now. Now, my generation, we didn't do that sort of thing. That was not even heard of. Yeah, Michael, that I agree with that. But here's the thing. I have to use the handicap controls on my car because with the nerve damage in my legs, I can't feel the gas in the brake. Yeah, Joanne, I have foot drop in my right foot, so I can't mash the gas and I can't pick up my right foot to touch the brake. I have to brake with my left foot. So I'm gonna get the gears on the steering wheel. That way when I get somewhere, I'll just have to back out in my wheelchair and just come out the door in my wheelchair. Which I'm hoping that's what I'll be able to do eventually. But you all, what I was going to say, I was talking about this on my live the other night. Hey, Aisha, how are you? Welcome in, honey. What I was talking about, those things are so expensive. Now, I had no idea. I mean, I guess I should have had a thought that they were expensive, but we never have tried to purchase one. You have neuropathy in your feet too, Michael? Okay, so when we started looking for a van, it was like, I told James, I said, no, no, we are not paying more for something than what we paid for our house when we bought it. Our son was 3 years old when we purchased our house. And we are going to pay more for this van than we did when we purchased our house. And James was like, you don't understand, Angie. Times have changed. We're going to have to pay more for the van. It has just made me sick. To think that we're going to have to pay more for this van than we did the house that we live in, that we sleep in, that we cook, that we take baths, I mean, how is that even possible? Thank you, Michael. But I guess it's just the way it's going to have to be, you know. He said, I didn't work all these years for something to happen to us and us just leave it to our kids to spend. You know, he said, I don't mind leaving things for the children, but we need to get what we need and want too. Yeah, that's true. But thank y'all for listening to me today about this thing in Texas. Continue to pray for those families and the recovery team. Can you imagine? Can you imagine having to go and help find these people? I cannot even imagine. I mean, not only are the families suffering, but the ones that are helping in the recovery. I mean, they're telling people now, don't come. Don't come. We got enough people. Don't come. But we need to be praying for them, praying for each other, praying for these people that are saying bad things about why this happened. It was a natural disaster. You cannot control the weather, okay? To a certain extent. That's another topic. But a natural disaster, things are going to happen that are going to be out of our control. They need to be loving and embracing these people. But anyway, thank y'all so much. I really appreciate y'all coming in today. The guy that is making my AFO, and the AFO is an ankle and foot uh orthopedic shoe. That's what AFO means, ankle and foot. And he's gonna come make a mold of it today at about 1:30. And so I'll be getting my shoes pretty soon. And I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it. And don't forget, we all make mistakes, and it's okay, because that's how we learn. We learn from our mistakes, or we should. Where there's no pain, there's no learning. We learn through pain, or we should learn through pain. When everything's happy and fun, nobody's wanting to learn anything. But I'm about to go and wait on this guy to come for my shoes, and I'll see you all later. Bye, neighbor.